I'm gonna ask you guys kind of like a weird question. Like, who are you? And like, what does that even mean? Like, who are you? So, are you your senses? Are you your thoughts? Are like when you if you hurt your hand, right? Are you your hand, or do you say this is your hand? Is the hand you, or are you the observer of the hand? Are your thoughts you, or are you the observer of your thoughts? This is kind of my theory. And like bear with me because it might be like a lot to understand. I'm not sure, but like maybe not. Okay. This is my theory. What if your energy, what if you yourself are energy, energy that was breathed into you from the source of the universe? So like the definition of God, I think, is like the source in which everything comes from. Like saying God is kind of like a weird word because people have like multiple different definitions of it. So I would say like the source in which we all came from, one that we can't understand. The everything of all you have, but you are like a little piece of it. So like for example, you have consciousness, but like where does the consciousness come from? It had to come from a source. Does that make sense? So like the source in which everything comes from has created you. Okay. But are you your body? Or are you just living in your body? I would argue that you are just living in your body. You're actually not your body. And here's like my thought process behind it. If you're thinking a thought, who is thinking it? You are thinking it? Are you listening to the thought? And if you're listening to the thought, who is hearing it? I feel like you should like smoke a joint and then like hear that. You know what I mean? Like who is listening to the thought that you're thinking? Maybe this is why like the Quran, for example, and like the Bible will call like the devil the whisperer because he's like whispering thoughts into your ear and you're the hearer of those thoughts. So you have your ears to hear, but your ear is just like it's just like if you think about what sound is, it's just like waves of vibration that's like demiscombobulated inside your ear and then like put into your brain. And you're like, this is all happening automatically. You can see automatically. So you have your senses. Your senses are things that affect the soul. The soul is your energy, and your actions affect your soul too. I hope that makes sense because I'm gonna read this. It's a lot. I know it's a lot, so I'm sorry. But like let's go to Ayah 22 of Surah Baqarah the Cow. He is the one who has made the earth a place of settlement for you. So imagine like your soul has been placed into a body and now you're like here. And now you're living on earth. But where are you? You're literally in the middle of nowhere. Like you're on earth, but like where is earth? It's like literally in the middle of nowhere. You're in a black, like if you leave earth, it's like a black sky of like infinite. You can go to another planet, but it's just infinite and infinite and infinite. But your soul that's experiencing this planet while you're here. So he is the one. So the source of existence is the one. It's not, according to this book, it is not a question. The source of existence is the one who has made the earth a place of settlement for you, and the sky a canopy, and sends down rain from the sky, causing fruits to grow as a provision for you. So it's kind of set up for you. That's what it's saying. It's saying this is a place that's set up for you. So do not knowingly set up equals to God in worship. So essentially don't thank anybody else except for the source of existence for what you got. Because essentially everything that you have, everything that you are, your entire consciousness comes from the source of existence. Now the question becomes, does that source, like the source that exists, does it have consciousness? Did that source actually create you? Well, if the source of existence didn't create you, how are you created? Like you didn't create yourself. You didn't just get here. I think one of the biggest problems is that we call the thing God, and then God, the word God, comes with like so many prerequisite understandings of like the word. Like, is he a man in the sky? Does he tell you what to do? Where do you end up in hell or in heaven? It's like, no, what if you just go, you come from the source and then you return back to the source? And in many ways, you're not in control at all. It's fascinating, right? Like you're not even in control of when you can fall asleep. You're not in control of when you die. You're not in control of when you're hungry. You're not in control when you need to go to the bathroom. You're not in control of what you're able to see. You're not in control of your own temptations. You're just not. People who are drug addicts, they don't want to be drug addicts. There's a craving that happens in the mind, and you're just the observer of said craving. So, in a lot of ways, you can have free will, but that free will is something that you have to practice. By the way, you know how to practice free will? Meditation. You know what's another word for meditation? prayer. So, like, literally, prayer and connecting with the source is the way to gain free will. Because when you meditate, you become conscious of your own thoughts, and therefore you're connected to the source of creation. Because you can separate yourself from the body. And you can separate yourself from the body, then you can observe what the body is thinking. So you have a bunch of thoughts, and this is like very normal in meditation. So you have like a bunch of thoughts, but then you can meditate and you can realize that your thoughts are not you. Then what are they? They're simple things that exist. You see, electricity plus matter equals thoughts, but you are the observer of those thoughts. And this place is a canopy. This place is like a it's like a place for you to develop your own spirit, for you to develop your own consciousness. And when you the way to get the way to get consciousness of that is to observe that consciousness and then practice that observation. That sounded like a lot, and I'm sorry if that was a lot. I wonder if these videos are going to hit, because I don't even know if I'm making any sense. But like, whatever, I'm just going to say what I said. um and if you're let's go to 23. And if you're in doubt about what we have revealed to our servant, then produce another chapter like it, and call your helpers other than God. But if what you say is true, but if you're unable to do so, and you will never be able to do so, then fear the fire, fueled with people and stones, which is prepared for the disbelievers. I feel like I butchered that quote so much. I want to read it again. I'm sorry, guys. And if you are in doubt of what we have revealed to our servant, then produce a chapter like it, and call your helpers other than God, if what you say is true. But if you are unable to do so, and you will never be able to do so, then fear the fire fueled with people and stones, which is prepared for disbelievers. Now, I think I did that a little bit better. On It seems so harsh, but if you look, and like, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to like grasp the idea of this. But if you look at like how the disbelievers behave, it kind of makes sense, because in the essence of disbelieving your source, rejecting your source, you end up doing harm to others. Like, what about, you start thinking like, does a pimp deserve to burn in hell? What about like a warmonger? What if you do harm into the world? So I can look at this from like a nature perspective, you know? The evil that you do to others actually taints your own soul. And maybe that hell is inevitable. Like, for example, in the Quran, it talks about how the people, how these people, maybe they forgot the Sabbath and God called them apes and pigs, or they've destroyed themselves by disobeying God. But if you look at like what they're actually doing, they're destroying their own society by betraying one another. And this is kind of like what's happening in North America. I was in the sauna. Like my stories are always coming from like the sauna, and I was in the sauna today, and like there was a guy, and what he was doing was he was just like trashing women, like, don't get married because the woman will betray you, and no 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 all this stuff. And I can't help but think like, I wonder if like the women are saying the same thing, because like guys are really not that nice to women either, and like it just seems like it's a race to the bottom. But if you believe in like the source of existence, that you came from somewhere and you're going to be judged for the things that you do, and maybe you'll behave better. And what is behaving better? Well, you can't help God by behaving better. You can't help the source of existence by behaving better. But what you can do is like treat each other better, because you realize that we all come from one source, and the creator created all of us, and we all return back to him. So be mindful of what you do and how you act and how you behave. And isn't it fascinating how people get drunk off power and they forget that and become warmongers and they murder people? But they too will be, their life will end as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's just what I think. So I hope that video made sense. If it didn't, then I can make another one. Cool. See you guys.